And today we're going to be playing... oh wait, wrong game.
Yeah, I bet the title of the video gave that one away, eh? Looks like we're not playing that. We're playing a standard match versus Ranko from TPX. So this should be a whole lot of fun. And let's see what's going on. I'm still leading with the same team I used in last vid, Ambipom. And I see a Pikachu at the front. I'm thinking Fling Light Ball. I'm like, oh wait, no, just kidding. That was the library tournament, not now. So once again, no Ghost, but there is a Zong, which is pretty much obviously going to take nothing from Ambipom. So I go up for a taunt and stop a Stealth Rock, which is great. I was thinking that, or some sort of screen or something like that. So at this point, I definitely do, however, need to get the heck out of here. And I'm going to go set up a layer of T-Spikes, because that's going to be fun. So hopefully I can get some stuff poisoned. It's not going to obviously do anything to Zong, but that's alright, because I still have Breloom for sleep and Dust Noir for burn, so I got a lot of status all over the place here. I get hit with an Earthquake in the face, which kind of hurts just a wee bit, and I don't exactly want to stay in anymore. Taunt wears off, so I'm like, ugh. You know, if it wore off like last turn or something like that, or if I hadn't set anything up, I'd consider maybe trying to spin away rocks like right after she puts them up or something, but there's nothing I can do about it, so I just got to switch out somewhere. And obviously I don't want him to set up rocks, so I'm thinking Gyro Ball or Earthquake. Breloom can come in here, put it to sleep, and then I still wouldn't face it if she does go for Earthquake trying to kill Atlantis. Or I could go to Gliscor, obviously avoid Earthquake as well, put up my own rocks, and then try and spin them later on in the match. So I end up going to Breloom though, and just see if I can prevent them entirely. I always say that normally, most of the time sub is the better move to go with, but I'm going to go with Spore, just trying to prevent anything rock-wise from getting up at all. So I am able to grab it, and then I don't feel the need to set up a sub, because I feel like if I do, then I get one punch, and I'm going to have to switch most likely. I'm going to lose a little bit of hit points and all that stuff, so I'm just going to go right for the Focus Punch. Whatever. In comes a Tangrowth, and that seems really weird to me. She was obviously just trying to take as few points of damage on her team as possible, but what can Tangrowth do? Can't Leech Seed. Grass move isn't really going to hurt, so I'm thinking unless there's HP Fire/Ice, it's, it can't leap or Sleep Powder me, so I don't see a whole lot that it can do. I put up a sub, Power Whip goes, still breaks my sub. I'm like, ugh, well that's unfortunate. At least it's poison, so it's still taking damage, and I'm not losing that much myself. So I'm going to try it one more time in case she wants to switch moves, predicting a switch, or maybe Power Whip is going to miss, or maybe it's not going to break a sub. I don't know how much it's exactly doing. My sub is, 68 hit points, I think, something like that. So, but it didn't work again, and now I'm, down around a quarter of my hit points, and I haven't really done anything. So I'm going to switch out. I just don't know exactly what to just yet. I would kind of like to go to Gliscor so I can set up rocks, but I'm just going to have to do that later. So I go to Noir so that I can Ice Punch it out of here, and of course now Power Whip misses. I'm like, whatever. So I get seated up, Ice Punch it in the face, and down it goes. I'm pretty sure that's a worthless crit, because Poison would have killed it before Leech Seed activates, I believe. They usually seem to go in the order of how stuff was laid out, and Leech Seed went up after it was already poisoned. So I believe that's how it works, so I'm pretty sure I'm fine. Anyway, in comes Zong, and it's sleeping at the moment, so I want to take advantage of that and set up my own rocks while I can, instead of going to Breloom and, putting up a sub and maybe not doing anything at all. So it does get its rocks now, and part of me wants to Earthquake it to see if it's Levitate or Heat Proof, but I'm going to go right over to Dusk Noir first, just in case it wanted to explode, and then put a Will-O-Wisp on it instead. Excuse me. Because I would like to eventually be able to have, what's-its-face, Tentacruel be able to come on in, get some residual damage on it. I'm worried about not being able to kill the thing. I'm not as worried about surviving. So, Dusk Noir ends up going asleep, which is fine. So now I go to Drac, thinking that I'm just going to waste time and get an Earthquake on it. And in comes Pikachu. I'm like, well, I would love to, grab an Earthquake over here, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to. So I'm expecting Hidden Power Ice. So because of that, I'm going to go right back to Grim Reaper, because Tentacruel does not have enough hit points to come in and take a hit with Stealth Rock, and then of course take another hit, because it's going to be slower. So I've got to go here. I stay in just pretty much as fodder, trying to get a Shadow Sneak off. Didn't work, and I'm thinking if I go for Shadow Sneak and I fall asleep again, Dusknoir is just going to die. So I'm going to take another turn, go to Gliscor, Obviously, I'll take a little bit of Stealth Rock, but it's not going to be too bad. Poison's going to hurt it a little bit more. Then I'm going to go back to Dusk Noir again, regardless of what move she starts predicting now, just messing with her head left and right. Poison's going to hurt it a little bit more. I was hoping, of course, Dusk Noir could survive and still get that shot off at waking up, but it's not going to happen, so at least I got a couple more turns of Poison on there, just in case it needs to switch out, because Ambipom's going to come right back in with Fake Out, or even just a faster double hit going. So I obviously expected a switch, and I thought about switching to something to take Bronzong, but for whatever reason, I was just like, nah, double hit will be okay. And then I just realized that was stupid. It's not like I didn't predict the move, I just didn't act on it, which, whatever, seemed a little funky to me. So, and then I go to this dude just as fodder, because at this point I have nothing really to take hits, so I want to come in here with something safely. I do, or at this point I thought my Azelf had Flamethrower. It turns out it doesn't have Flamethrower, it's got T-Bolt and U-Turn. So, but at the same time, at this point I was thinking it's too much HP, I can't go for it yet. So, in the end, I believe I resort to Breloom. I believe. Right now I'm currently checking to see, because that Gyro Ball did a lot to Tentacruel despite being resisted, and I wanted to compare stats with Breloom, but Breloom doesn't resist it. So it's going to take more than plenty to break my sub from Gyro Ball. And I'm going to go with Spore first, because I figured Pikachu, if it came in, would die from Poison and Stealth Rock, and it doesn't. So I'm like, well, that was just great. Substitute was definitely the right play, and I just didn't do it. I don't know. I guess I was just worried that I would set up a sub, and she would Gyro Ball, and I would just waste hit points. So that didn't work out. I also obviously didn't want to go for a direct attack, so I go to Ambipom as fodder. He happens to survive, though, which is kind of nice, and then Poison finishes off the thing. So because he didn't have to attack, I still have a Fake Out. Obviously, Bronzong comes in, so it's like, do I want to save Ambipom for later? I don't know what else she has. I don't know how beneficial it's going to be, and what am I going to do if I switch? So I'm just going to try and get as much damage in there as possible with the Fake Out and then with the double hit, and I'm going to expect to bring in Azelf, and I'll go with Flamethrower from here, and I should be okay. It is Modest Max because of the Scarf, and I'm like, what? I've got U-Turn. Well, this kind of stinks. So, Gyro Ball is going to absolutely wreck Llanowar. Hypnosis is obviously going to wreck Llanowar, but I just have to U-Turn out, so that kind of really, really stinks. And then it's just, do I want to go to Gliscor or do I want to go to Breloom? I ended up going to Breloom, even though Gliscor was probably the better play. That hurt quite a bit, but at the same time, I need to be able to kill the thing too, not just not die from it. So I do feel a little bit behind the 8-ball. I tried to set up a substitute this time in case she wanted to switch, and it didn't work. So I'm like, great. Now she's definitely going to switch into Toxic Spike, so that Spore fails. And once again, she didn't switch this time, which was very, very helpful. It allowed me to get to sleep. I'm not going to bother setting up a sub because I'm so low on hit points. And then she stays in again. I'm just like, don't! I mean, in hindsight, that makes perfect sense, but from my perspective, I was just like, great, she's going to switch, and blah, 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 and I just didn't want to waste hit points putting up a sub when I'm so low already. So in comes Pinsir, and I'm going to switch right out to Gliscor. I'm like, hey, this is great. Like, this I can take all day. Finally, something, finally I have a good advantage. Something's going my way. I think something's looking right, because I've been in a bind for most of the match. So take an X-Scissor, take a Stone Edge, roost it all off. Good game. And now I'm just going to start firing off Earthquakes. I'm at full life. I got rocks up. Got to fire off an Earthquake. In comes Starmie. This isn't good. I have Breloom. I have Gliscor. And I have a Scarf Azelf. I believe everything else is dead. So, Ice Beam on this thing's absolutely going to truck me. And I'm thinking, well, I need Gliscor for Pinsir. And I need Azelf for Starmie and Bronzong. Did I kill Bronzong? I killed Bronzong. For Starmie and maybe, whatever else that I end up seeing. I haven't seen everything yet, I don't think. So, it's got to explode as well. So I figured Breloom was just my biggest fodder. She spun away the Stealth Rock, which also spun away T-Spikes, and I wasn't thinking about that until later, and then didn't even go for Ice Beam. So I'm just like, wait, you don't have Ice Beam? What the hell? And then I was still expecting that was way too crazy, and that the obvious Gliscor switch would be a double switch for her, bringing in Starmie, and it still didn't happen. So I'm like, maybe that thing just doesn't have Ice Beam. That's got to be it. It's probably got Surf, and she didn't think she could kill or resist on Breloom when she probably still could have. And I'm just like, wow. So, major turn of events in that regard. Bliss comes in, and again, fearing Ice Beam is going to kill 2 of my 3 guys, and I know my only way to beat it is to put it to sleep or explode. But wait a second, why is it not poisoned? Because she spun away the T-Spike, so that actually gives me my chance to put it to sleep. Instead, my only answer would be to explode on it. And if I did have to explode on it, that would leave Starmie versus Breloom at half health. Even with Surf, that's not looking good. But because T-Spikes are gone, I can put a Spore up there after foddering Gliscor out. And that gives me very little to deal with, and very little to use against it. But I do believe I have the advantages here. In comes Starmie, as I think I set up a sub. Yeah, I set up a sub just to be safe. If she switched, if she woke up and didn't switch, and that way sub will still allow me just to take the hit, nullify the turn, put her back to sleep if I felt like, and C-Bomb will go for the kill from there. So Bliss is going to come back in. I'm going to mess around for a little bit trying to bring in a Zelf just so I can blow up, because it's fun and it's cool. But I'm going to get frozen, unfortunately, so that's not going to work. It's going to give me a couple of turns to try and wake up and blow up. I'm not going to get it off, however. Breloom is going to come back in, put the thing to sleep. It's going to give me a 1-0 victory after I focus punch it in the face. So it was a tough match. I had a lot of fun with it. I certainly felt like I was behind the 8-ball for a good portion in the middle of the match. And just slowly but surely I was able to, all that time I spent investing early on and getting owned finally started to add up, and I made some progress. So I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. Thanks for watching. Great game, Ranko, and I will be sure to catch you all guys on the flip side later. Peace.